Well, hello. This interview with Anoob Saban is very revealing, really interesting. He started when he was 21, probably at the bottom rank in the hotel trade, the night porter, and he kind of seemed to get on really well with the hotel owner, and over a period collaborated with him on some of the business models and stuff that were behind the hotel function. So he learned very quickly. He developed his skills. He worked in a variety of hotel chains over the years, and then started relatively recently to develop his own hotel chain. So in the last 5 years, he's taken on 10 hotels. A really extraordinary effort when you consider actually he's done that almost single-handedly. So yes, the hotels are locally managed, but overall, the overarching management and oversight is done by himself, which requires an incredible amount of traveling, as he will describe to you, and huge hours, something up to 16, possibly even 18 hours a day. So Anoob is not frightened of the work, and he's really put his back into it. But of course, that's not sustainable. He's realized in the last 6 months or so that he needs to delegate. He needs to get people on board to do a lot of the jobs that he was trying to do single-handedly, the HR, the quality control, the operational management, all these things. And he has taken on some people. He's still in the process of recruiting a team, but already he's managed to reduce his hours from that huge total of 16 plus to something like 12, which is, in his terms, really significant progress. And there's a joy when he tells us that he's actually now got time to spend with his family, and how that manifests itself. It's lovely, but it's more fundamental even than having time to yourself and time to your family. It's without having a team, he can't grow the business. He is the block now. His physical ability to contain everything is the block. So he needs to grow. If he wants to grow, he needs a team. So his big tip right at the end is don't leave that delegation journey too long. Start early, get people involved to help you run your business. That is the sure way to enable growth. I think you'll find this interview really insightful. Enjoy. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my Stressing Values podcast. I'm Colin Crooks. I'm delighted to have you with us. Today, we're interviewing a very experienced hotel owner who tells me that he started out when he was 21 and is still in the hotel trade. He's now running brilliant hotels. So I'm very pleased to introduce you to Anoob Saban. Anoob, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Thank you, Collins. Yeah, I'm very good. How about you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. And it's great to meet you. And I'd love to kick off just with, just how did you get into this industry, and what a little bit more about Brilliant Hotels.
Yeah, well, obviously, I joined the hospitality industry at the age of 21, like you said. I came from India to UK to pursue my MBA. So
Okay.
while I was doing my MBA, I was working for a three-star hotel in London. Um, Obviously, because of the studies, I was doing the night shifts over there.
Oh my word. Okay.
I started from the lowest position, which is the night porter position. But while I was there, I had a very good employer. I call him as my guru, who trained me into the entire hotel operations. Sorry, in 2001, this was a time when hotel industries started to practice revenue management, which means
Oh,
they start to work with online travel agencies like Booking.com, Expedia, all that.
of course.
Until then, it was just like a flat price pricing for the hotels.
Yes.
So Same as the employer of that hotel, Mr. Nizar Virji, is an Harvard MBA graduate. He was also trying to learn about MBA, and we both started learning together. He had some basic knowledge, and we started, exploring that revenue management practices. And I got very much interested in this revenue management. So I started even during my, I started learning even during my spare time. For
Which you couldn't have had much of, I wouldn't have thought.
No, I mean, if it was no revenue management, I don't think I would have been in the hospitality industry still now. So
No.
I don't like hotel operations. Well, I do like now, but at that time I didn't like the operations. I only liked the revenue management part of it.
Well, as a night porter, I can't imagine that's the most enjoyable part of the work. So tell us about brilliant hotels that you've set up.
So basically back, so from the night porter, I developed my career. I grew up into the area general manager level, looking after 4 hotels in Kent. I set up my own hotel management company called Brilliant Hospitality Management.
Okay.
I had few key people working for me. For example, the cost controller, executive chef, uh, sales and marketing manager, and digital marketing manager. So those were the people who were working for me, and I was managing the entire hotel operations.
Right. Okay. So managing other people's hotels.
That's true. So
Good.
in 2017, after managing these hotels, um, my dream was to own at least one hotel, whether it is leasehold or freehold. I just
That's the
want to own
dream. I want
lease.
mine. Yes.
That's right. So a hotel in Manchester, the owner came to meet me at one of the exhibition, and he said, "Look, I have a hotel in Manchester. I don't want to run this hotel. Would you like to take this hotel on a leasehold?"
Okay.
Obviously, I didn't have the money to buy the freehold because that was my first hotel. But obviously, even though there was no premium or anything for the leasehold, there's a huge rent to pay.
Yeah.
But I wanted some funds to invest in the hotel. That was almost 1.5 million. I approached the bank, and the bank raised the funds, not up to full, but half of the what I wanted.
Oh,
And it was almost 2020, well, 2019, when we managed to finish the refurbishment of the hotel to made it as a 4-star standard, branded at that time with Best Western Signature Collection, and we completed all that in Feb 2020, and then the lockdown happened.
oh my word, what timing.
Yeah, so we had a brand new steakhouse. We had brand new bedrooms, a 4-star, a Best Western Signature Collection brand, opened in February, but had to close in March. Luckily, after 1 week of COVID lockdown, I had a call from the council of Trafford Council
Yes.
and asked me to reopen the hotel to accommodate some NHS professionals and essential workers.
Oh, okay.
So we carried on operating, obviously, with all the COVID limitations, with all the
Yeah.
restrictions, all the guidelines, all the safety precautions. We carried on. So we didn't close the hotel, other than
Interesting.
the 1 week. One of my friends after that called me.
Mm.
Uh, that was after everything is reopened in 2021. He was migrating to Pakistan for. He had 3 hotels.
Okay.
So he asked me whether I'm interested in those 3 hotels. So obviously, coming from that was the time I moved from Kent to Manchester.
You
So
made you've moved home. You
relocate. That's right, with the
right.
family. So Kent was actually a full-on operation, a busy life for me, because managing 4 hotels.
Yes, a lot
After
of
moving
work.
to Manchester, I became bored of myself. For example, from a busy 4-star, 4 hotel operations coming to a 36 bedroom. So I had plenty of time. So I
Right.
was really looking for a second hotel. So that was when I got this opportunity of 3 hotels.
Okay.
From there, yeah, I just acquired, all the opportunities that came on my table. Most of them were that I was not looking for it. The owners were contacting me to either run it on a management contract or on a lease contract.
Okay.
I so I had 4 hotels at that time, and then the fifth hotel I managed to buy the freehold, and that was in Crew.
Whoa.
And then obviously, one thing that I forgot is when I grew with the number of hotels, I forgot to um, grow the team.
You forgot.
That's right. Yeah. Obviously, I did recruit, but most of them was like a one-man show, was managed by me, whether it was operations, whether it was sales, revenue management, everything was done by me, including the.
Oh my word. So you're now responsible for doing all of those back office functions and the marketing and the sales
I
pretty
was,
much on your own
I
for, I
was.
think it's 8 hotels now, is it?
That's right now. But I now got a small team. I'm
Okay.
now trying to delegate. I'm now trying to recruit more people. But
Right.
for good 2 years between 2022, 2021 and 2023, I was on my own running the show.
And how well are you adapting to this delegating then? Because that's very intense on your own for 2 years. How are you finding that?
Well, there is two sides of coins. I mean, we can delegate, but there is a cost to play for that. To pay for that. For example, I'm a man of perfection.
Ah,
Want everything to be done rightly, and I always thought if I don't do it, it will not come into 100% perfection.
I hear this a lot.
Yes, others may do it, but I would be only 50% satisfied with the outcome.
Okay.
So at that time, I was just doing it everything by myself, by only giving the less or less complicated task to other people. But I
Mm.
have now realized that's not the right way. Yes, this is business. In business, this is how we learn. We may have to delegate, we have to build the team up.
Yes.
They will make the mistakes. From mistakes, they will learn. So
That's the risk you have to take. They're going to
that's
learn from the mistakes. Yes.
true. Yeah, but while they do that, there would be a cost for us to pay. That is this opportunity cost or any, any the customer reviews or the customer satisfaction,
Yes.
those kind of things. So as long as you are prepared to pay that cost, 100% you should delegate.
Yes. And what is your process for delegating? How do you know the job is done?
Yeah, I mean, putting control procedures. I mean, as long as every single company has got standard operating procedures, and each delegates are assigned those tasks, then it's only a matter of monitoring the work completion, whether they are
Yes.
the right track or anything.
I like to hear that, Anoob. That is fantastic. So, how did you write up those procedures? Did you do it or did somebody do it for you?
Well, I hired few people to do it for me, but again, I wasn't 100% happy. So, because I have worked with multiple brands like Wyndham, ISG, Best Western, and I researched a lot of other brand standards. I did a brand standard of myself, you know,
Okay.
taking every single thing, or sharing all the best practices. I took every good practices from every single brand. So I've now formed a standard operating procedures for the Brilliant Hotels Collections Group.
Right. That's the best of everything you could find.
Very true. Yeah. So now I have a group HR and training manager who is slowly implementing these procedures at every single hotels
Great.
and every single
Brilliant.
outlets. Yes, so this exercise we started 6 months ago, and we are successfully completing the seventh hotel now with the standards.
Oh, so it's progressing quite quickly.
Very true. Yeah, we started this procedure this exercise in September last year.
Brilliant.
But
Brilliant.
we had to put a hold onto our growth. So after the latest
Yes.
acquisition was the Park Hall Resort and Spa in June 2023. Since then, we have not looked at any hotels to acquire other than two management contracts.
Okay, so you want to bed the system in before you move
Grow.
on to the next thing. But you're still quite heavily engaged and you're traveling around all of the hotels pretty frequently, I imagine.
Very true, because I am of a person, I just don't want to, just because I'm a managing director of the company, I just don't want to sit in the office and do the numbers or, read the reports only. I just need to, I need to make sure every single hotel is run effectively. So I do visit every single hotel at least once in a
Okay. Right. So you're on the road, going out to wherever they are, crew. I think you've got one in Felixstowe.
Felix, Pontypridd, Cheltenham. Those are the farthest hotels. Most
y-
of our hotels are within the 1 hour mile of radius.
Okay. But you've got a
But
few outliers. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
four hotels are just a bit far out. Those hotels I do visit only once every 2 weeks. But Felixstowe maybe once every month.
Mm.
But again, the cost that I had to pay for that is a halt on the growth.
That's exactly.
But
Absolutely. Yeah.
if I had the right team, for example, an operations director or a managing director,
Yes.
like me to represent me, I could send him or her to visit those hotels, and I can focus on growth and more acquisition.
The acquisitions. That's right. So you could go to the strategy bit while the operations were being looked after.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, I know that that sounds a lot of traveling. I imagine from what you're telling me about your focus on perfection, you must work very long hours.
I do. I should say I used to. I'm still. So I used to work 16 to 18 hours, a day. But over the last 3 4 months, I've now started reducing it.
Okay, and how many are you at the moment then?
Still 12 to 13 hours a day.
Oh my word. Okay,
But I just want to bring it down to 8 to 9 hours. Uh,
absolutely.
but there is a big improvement,
Uh,
even
uh,
even with the stress level or with the, you know, um, with all the tasks that complicated tasks. I mean, currently as a company, we are coming into a fine-tuned stage, and personally myself, I'm trying to adapt to this, taking less stress and trying to
this is music. Absolutely. So what have you done then in the last few months to get you down from 16 to 12 hours roughly? What
delegate. As like I said,
delegation?
I
Yeah, yeah.
started since last year September. We started recruiting quality and efficient people and started delegating. And the staff, like I said, it may not be 100% perfect, but I'm still happy 50% of my workload is reduced.
Whoa. And how are you using that spare time you've got suddenly?
With the family, of course. Obviously, like I said,
Fantastic.
for the last 23 years of my career in the hospitality industry, I don't think I have managed to give enough time to my family.
No, that's the thing that loses out, isn't it?
That's right. So I'm having a quality time with the family of all, over the last 1 year, and but I want to give more.
And how big is the family?
I got three sons,
Okay.
all with three different, big age gaps: 18, 12, and 6. So it's a age.
Okay. So they take up whatever time you can give to them. They want to see
Yeah,
you all
yeah.
the
I
time.
mean, especially the eldest one, I couldn't give enough time. But
No.
he's now in the university. But
Uh-huh.
I, call him and visit him once every week, or he comes home. So I drop him at the university. So during that time, I make sure I have a quality time with him. And
Fantastic.
the other two are still, I spend the weekends with them, take them out. Sometimes I take them, of course, during the school holidays, I take them with my to the work as well.
Oh, you bring them to a hotel.
More, yeah, during the school holidays, yeah. Just want, just want them to see, what my setup style is.
I think that's hysterical. Fantastic. So delegation is at the heart here of reducing the amount of hours you work, but it seems also have taken quite a lot of stress off you.
It has. I mean, compared to last year, I'm much, relieved now. I feel very much satisfied now with the level of outwork. I mean, it did take a good 6 months for them to understand my vision, my core values, where the company is going, the company's vision, what I want to make this brilliant to be. You know, it took them 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, it would do. I think that's right. Yes. And what are the core values you wanted to get over to them?
Well, to me, obviously, to me, for every business to be successful, it needs to satisfy 4 pillars.
Okay.
So those pillars were definitely is the employee satisfaction.
Yes.
If you satisfy, what I believe is if you satisfy the employees, they will in turn satisfy the guests. So that's the guest satisfaction.
Yes.
And the guests, if the guests are satisfied, obviously the revenue and this review score goes up, and the stakeholders are satisfied as well. So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
all satisfaction. But the most and the final part of it, yes, the business can be good, the satisfaction level can be good, but if we don't play a vital role within the local community by
Oh,
with the community engagement or by satisfy the local community, then that business will become isolated. We need the local
interesting.
community support. So whatever we make, we give a percentage to the local community as well, either through charity contribution or you know um, some kind of community initiative programs we need to have.
I think that's lovely. But you used that word isolated. What do you mean by the business becomes isolated?
But my hotel, I want to make it as a local hub for the local community. The local community or the local residents should be able to come to our hotel for anything, whether it is a pint of a pot of tea or a coffee or a pint or even having a larger function. But for them to come and visit our hotel, we need to be part of them.
Yes. Yes.
But we can't just expect their business and not to give back anything. But so there are a lot of initiative programs we can do.
Okay. And do you think it helps you with employment? Because you need lots of staff, don't you?
Very true, very true. So basically, again, one of our vision is to do everything locally, whether recruit local people, work with the local suppliers, whether
Yes.
it meat or vegetable or whatever,
Okay.
partner with the local attractions, and
Yes.
support
Yes.
the local charities.
Fantastic. Yes. Yes. I think that's really interesting about how working hard to satisfy your staff to make sure if they're happy, you're absolutely right. They're much more likely to provide a really good service because they're genuinely happy at work, and it's not just a front that they put on because you told them.
Yeah,
They're happy at work. Yeah, yeah. So, assuming you get this new staff team together and it starts to work in the way that you're hoping, what's the plan for say over the next 5 years?
um, the plan for the next 5 years is obviously to grow, but to grow as a brand, not just like a hotel group. There are plenty of brands out there. Now, having worked with multiple brands, we know, and wearing a owner's hat, we know what the owner's expectations are and what the owner's frustrations are becoming a branded hotel. One example is the fees that the owners pay to these brands. You know,
Yes.
are they getting the enough results from these brands? So Having worked with all these brands, I now have summarized the pros and cons of becoming a branded hotel. So I want to put out a brand within the market that is less headache for the owners to implement and is less or is very cost effective.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. So
So
you could really put brilliant across lots of different hotels.
that's correct. So we will offer the franchisees or franchisees, where people can take our brand and follow the brand standards, and we will make sure there is good connectivity with the GDS, with the other OTA channels, implement a good loyalty program. At the end of the day, there are people, the owners, who are not happy of the large royalty market fee where the brands are charging at the moment.
Yeah, I can imagine they charge quite a hefty chunk, I would think. Yes.
Very true. So I need to make sure they get a good ROI on what they are spending as the royalty fee or sales and marketing fee. Maybe we don't even charge a royalty fee. We only charge a membership fee to take our name to the hotel.
Yes, as long as it covers your costs of ensuring they're up to the right standard, your
That's
sort of auditing costs. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
So that
so
is
and
a
then
good
how many
start.
hotels would you like to have in the group then?
As many I can. Obviously, I grew from one hotel to 10 hotels within the last 4 years. Um, but if I have the right, that's on my own. But if I have the right team, then
Mm.
I think I could even get up to nearly 60, 70 hotels over the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, if you did as you say, you did the first 10 on your own, on literally, yeah, sky's the limit. That's fantastic. I love it. Um, what do you think will be the big issues though to get there? I mean, apart from creating the team, and when you look around the environment at the moment, what are the big challenges for the hotel sector?
You mentioned about apart from the team, but the team is the most important thing.
Yes.
Prepared to recruit. I'm prepared to give, the positions to the right people, but finding the right candidate and the quality candidate is a big issue,
Yeah, that's the big challenge, isn't it? That seems to be the big challenge everywhere now.
especially since COVID, when a lot of people had left the hospitality industry because
Yes.
not many people want to work within the hospitality industry because there is no social life balance. They work during the evenings and weekends when others are enjoying. So they have realized during COVID, there are other industries out there where they can just work 9 to 5 or 7 to 5 and then get their evenings and weekends.
Yes, and of course that
Hospitality is
you
the
can't offer
other,
that in hospitality.
exactly, because that's when other people come to our hospital or hotels and we have to serve them. So it is very difficult. However, I got a solution for that too.
Okay,
So I'm partnering with a hotel management school in Greece. They call Swiss Alpine.
right.
So we are going to open a hotel management school at one of our hotel premises, and
Interesting.
train and develop the, like, will deliver some courses to them
Yes.
with the help of the education authority. We will develop them and make a recruitment pool here, so these people, these students, once they finish their course, they can be taken to our own hotels, or even we can supply to any other hotel.
Yeah. Whoa, that's
So that's
bold.
one plan. um, there are a lot of environmental or economic issues which obviously we just have to go along with that and try
Yeah.
to put our control. Obviously, utility cost is something that we can't
You no,
control.
you're not in control of the
Yep,
utilities. Not much you can do about that.
that's right. I mean, again, um, team development and local community works.
Yeah.
That's those are my two goals.
Yes, I think that's really going to be key to that employment thing as well. Having a strong reputation in every local town makes you a more desirable employer. So people are going to come to you more than maybe another company.
That's right.
Wow. So you've done everything in the hotel trade, literally from night porter upwards.
That's right.
So if you were talking to somebody who wanted to get into hotel management, or indeed to own their hotel like you did, what would be your 3 tips? What would you tell them?
My 3 tips is, first you need to learn everything. I managed
Aha.
to go. I managed to go. If you are just becoming an investor, that you don't want to know anything about the operations and you just want to invest money and then go. Obviously, you know, the, there will be only a certain benefit to that. But if
Mm.
you really want to become a hotel owner, you need to be on the floor. You need to
Y-
know if you're asking, if you want to tell your waiting staff that that's not how you make a cup of tea, or
Mm.
that's not how you serve a coffee or a cappuccino, you need to know how to make
You need to know how to do it. Yes, I love that. That's exactly
otherwise
what I think. Yeah.
otherwise you can't you know you can't criticize them or you can't develop them, other people.
No. No.
So first learn the industry by working every single department, and then once you have learned that, then work with the team. Again, just don't sit back and sit in the office and say that, okay, I know everything, now you run the show. No, sometimes there will come a situation that where it's a big banqueting, you may have to be with them to serve the plates, to serve in the bar.
Yeah, you've got to get stuck in. Yeah, whatever's needed. Yes.
The team needs to feel that, look, if I'm getting short of staff or if I feel I need some support, I can reach out to my owner.
Wow. Yeah.
So they
Get in there, get involved. Yeah.
that
Show
we
support.
And the main important issue, or the what from my experience is, don't forget to grow your team while you grow your company.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
I managed to survive. That's only because of my family support.
Yes.
Can imagine, obviously I've been spending 16 to 18 hours in the business,
Yeah.
ignoring the family, but my family supported me very well. But not everyone will do that.
No.
So recruit at the right time, grow your team at the right time if you want to grow, and you know achieve your ambitions.
I That is a beautiful way to end the interview, Anoob. I made the same mistake, did it all myself for ages, and learned the hard way that actually delegating is the only way in town, really. And sounds like you've done the same, but yeah, you do need that support. It's the only way you can grow.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, on that note, that I wish you well, and I hope growth comes your way.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you very much, Anoob. It's been a
Yeah.
really interesting interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Collins.
My pleasure. Take care.